Welcome back. Good to see you here yet again. Oh, snap. What? Great start. Thank you very much. One hit. Are you serious? Well, you're not even a challenge, Mr. Drowned. But either way, good to see you guys here. That was totally unplanned, unscripted, but for some reason just jumped in, didn't see a drowned. That's alright. I'll survive. I'll be alright. But either way, we've had a great day so far. I've been having a great time just playing in this world, of course, and today is going to be no different. We're going to be having a real good time, adding a bit more life and a bit more festivity to the place. Today we are going to be building a tent. That's what we're going to be doing. This tent is going to be, hopefully, a little bit different to your average tent, and for people who have actually tried to build a tent in Minecraft, it's easier said than done. Same as speaking, apparently, which is also quite a difficult thing to do on the occasion. And what we are doing, and you may be asking yourself the very important question, which is a very important question. Jansey, if you're doing a tent, why are you getting clay? And that is a very good question. It's got nothing to do with the tent itself, but what the tent is sitting on. I want to go ahead and get a bit more color in the ground, and that is where we're going to be getting, of course, the darker than the grays that we've got. The darker colors from the brick, of course, and also the colors themselves from the brick. So we're getting a bit of red on the floor just to change it up. I want to make sure that we emphasize that we are going more for textures and less about necessarily going just as large as I can go, which is what I did in the last series. And I mean, hey, you know, that's another thing. That's another story. Both cool things. Both got their drawbacks and their good things to them as well. So here we go. This is where we kind of stopped actually last episode. I stopped over here and I built this little piece here, which is where I'll plan on putting a pub. But I just thought I'll put the first wall in so we can work against this wall and then we can go along with what we are doing. And the plan with this is I want to make this area that we're building the tent for, just a place where the owner of the pub will store barrels and store things that are going in here. And who knows what's going on in this, but I think it'll be a cool way of just having a bit of shade over here, making a bit of color, and of course just having a real good old time in this place. Perfect. One for that. Looks like it was planned. And now let's just remove these and we can get started. So my thought is moving this down. Okay, here is the mind of Jansey. Why do you do this? So I'm going to be pulling this one block down to this level over here, I think. I think this will be a good idea. And that's going to allow us to at least put a door in to go underneath the pub, which will be kind of cool. Just add in a little bit more depth to the place. And not only that, it also means that we've got a bit more variation in the ground itself, because else if you keep everything on one level, I'm sure you guys have seen it. And I'm sure listen, I know you've been guilty of this thing. I've been guilty of this thing too. You go, you say, hey, this looks like a fantastic area to build on. I'm going to flatten it all out. And then you flatten it all out and you're like, well, that wasn't actually as cool. And in fact, I've still got that in there. What? It's been ages. You like that's pretty cool and all, but you know, sometimes having the difference in the ground and all that stuff does make a world of a difference. And I think it does. I think it makes the biggest difference in total. So that is why we are going one down. And we'll come back for that. We'll come back for that there. So let's go get one more down over here, and we'll also fill in a few of the blanks. So what I was saying also about the last series. So for people who don't know, maybe you guys are new to this series, in which case, welcome to this series. In the last YouTube series that I did, which I still do play in that world on streams, by the way, might I add, if you guys still love that world, of course, that still is a thing. I built a bit large. I started building very, very large stuff because that was my goal. I wanted to build bigger in that world, build bigger, better things, and we certainly did that. We built big, and I think we built some pretty good stuff. But there were a few drawbacks to that, and a few drawbacks to building really, really large was I would spend a whole bunch of time, and here's the thing, building. A lot of it building, and I kind of lost a little bit of my ability to go and explore, my ability to go and do some things that are unrelated to building in the game. And I think it's a valid thing that people said, you know, Jansey, you build a lot, and you know what, I do. I built a heck of a lot, and I think maybe stepping away a little bit and building and doing everything together is a good thing. And I've been thoroughly loving this. So I've got a question for you guys. How do you guys like the layouts of the episodes now that we do it kind of a bit more all over the place, not necessarily all in one spot? And I personally, I'll tell you what, I've been enjoying it. As far as me making them, I've been thoroughly enjoying just going around and doing different things every day and at least making builds smaller, so I'm not just stuck there in a rut, just continuously building all the time. And really, take it this way, I love building. Don't get me wrong, I'll build all day, and I thoroughly enjoy it. But it's fun to have the episodes change for me, and it's fun to do things like that are just completely out of the ordinary. At least, can I get up here still? I hit a crafting table up here for a reason. There we go. Oh, we're not out of range. Fantastic. That is very, very cool. Very, very lucky. I didn't expect that. So those there. And now we're going to use something a little bit different. We're going to be putting in these. In fact, we'll put these in here. There we go. There we go. Of course. In here. And we'll get rid of those and put in one of these, because this still offers us a spot to step up on. And it just creates a bit of a difference there. So as you come down here, you would have the barrels delivered. Come down here, pack them in here. Tent to keep them cold. I think that seems logically consistent to some extent. To some extent, maybe we don't have to have just as much thinking, but sometimes it's good. Sometimes a bit of thought into the build helps you build the build, and of course that's what's helping us build this one. And you know what? If you guys don't do it, I encourage you, give it a try once. Just try to think about why things are happening in a build and all that sort of stuff, and you'll start coming up with silly ideas and warrant. I mean, say you've just built a tent. You're like, why did I build this tent? You're like, I just felt like building a tent. Well, make a story up, and then that might even send you on your way to the next story. Of course, that's what's been happening, and as I say, that's what I did in the last world and this world, and now that I'm doing this a little bit differently, it still is the same sort of stuff, just spread out, you know, going slow. That's another cool thing is the speed that we take in this. I'm loving just going at a reasonable pace through the game. I haven't yet fought the Ender Dragon. I mean, by the time you fought it once or twice, you can pretty much fight it blindfolded, I swear. It's just it's not that difficult in the end once you've got it, you know what I mean? And I know there's gonna be people saying, Jansey, it's easier said than done. I know, but I think it's a matter of just doing it a few times and you're good. And excuse my messy chests there. So we'll do this here, and we will do this here because we're saving, and clay is really, really hard to get, so we will be very, very sparing with how we use it. Slabs everywhere. Whenever we can, we're going to be slabbing it. So a few slabs here, a few there, maybe a little bit there, and one, not there, but there. Not there, but here. Okay, good. So this is the thought. If we can get these in here, maybe a little bit of cracked stuff. Oh, I was close to that diorite. I was very, very close to that diorite. We're doing it. Never mind. We're doing it. There we go. Too late. It's in. Can't say anything. And maybe a bit of this over here. Cracked brick, cracked brick, cracked brick. And I think a bit of cobble over there. With a little bit of andesite next to it, we'll merge these two in here. And then we should, at that stage, have a fantastic thing and a messed up hotbar. Wonderful. So there is our base for what we need to build in. And what we can do while we're at it, we can put in a few of the barrels before we put on the tent. So I'm sure you can kind of see how this is coming. That's going to eventually be a roof over there. I just needed a wall to work on. But if we have this coming down, what the heck is going on here? I must have placed that mistakenly. That's probably in the thumbnail of the last video, to be honest. Didn't even notice that. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to take the tent from here onto here, I think. And we'll do that very shortly. But barrels. The new beautiful barrel blocks, basically. They basically are. They basically barrel blocks. There. Can I please what? Okay, cool. I can get out of there. Fantastic. And I can place that one in over here. So we'll fill these up with some stuff. I think what could be kind of cool, actually, just to look like maybe it's got there's like a bit of mulchy stuff. I know this isn't necessarily the case, but just some mulchy stuff. That looks pretty cool because it's got that extra level, you see, in there. It looks really, really neat. We could do another one in here somewhere, maybe just up here like this. And give me my axe, please. Thank you. Like that, and here, and I think that also would just add in to it over there. We could put some water in, and we can maybe put one more in around the place, and in fact, around here is another place that needs some barrels, because we haven't got anything covering up this area, and barrels are like our leaf blocks. They save us when we don't know what to do, and that is exactly what they're doing here. So if we step back...
Narrator, narrates all.
How you doing, narrator?
Narrator, narrates system.
Okay.
Narrator, off.
Of course. Well, you have a great day. So around here, we can maybe put in a few things. By the way, the note blocks, here we go. A few people have noticed it, and I haven't said anything about it because I took your guys' feedback. I get what you're saying. Jansey, the note blocks are a bit much. I totally get you. I totally get you. And I said I felt like there might be And I definitely am toning them back a bit. We're gonna work on the textures. We're gonna keep them very Minecraft-like, the textures. And in fact, the place I've put them without the textures actually do work. So we'll take 4 of those, I think it is. Does it come to 4? I think it does. We'll go just put these in there. Fantastic. There and there. We'll just put the normal note blocks. These aren't even the new textures on the note blocks, but I think it'll work quite well. So note block and note block, and maybe we'll just put one there and one there. So that there, yeah, it fills up the area as if there is cargo lying around, which is perfect. That is fantastic. Now we're going to be using a technique that I learnt from sort of a few different ways. First one is here in some respect, doing sails, which I kind of knew, but I've always tried tents, and tents have been, I mean, let's be honest, they're pretty difficult things if you guys want to do them on a small enough scale to actually look good in terms of the way we're building it. It does actually become quite a struggle. And what I've discovered from doing the sails on the last boat, and not this one, but the one that we did, the little boat there where I mistakenly left some blocks and they ended up looking fantastic. Wait, what? Ah, I know what happened. Ah, ha, ha. Okay, does that mean this is going to place over here when I place this here now? Yeah, it is. Okay, this is a bit of getting used to, I guess. How am I going to place my blocks? This is, I never thought I'd be running into this issue, but I see what the problem is. Here. And now I can place this. Okay, strange. It's funny, there's a few unexpected things you do in 1.13 that I didn't think about, and I'm still slowly getting used to them, of course. But yeah, the idea is if we cover this off with an edge like this, it creates a nice little rim to the tent, which it's kind of uninvasive, which I thought it would be pretty darn invasive, to be honest. When I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, this is not going to work. When we put it over there, that was a mistake, just as some blocks which I'm talking about, and it ended up working really well. And can I get up here, please? There we go. Yeah, of course. I'm real good at parkour as well. If you guys didn't know, I'm very good at it. And so maybe something like this and here, and then we'll go another one from there. And do I have my shears? I always don't have my shears, Jansey. Why were you asking that anyway? It was worth a try. That's why. So there, and maybe get rid of this one. And we'll do where most people end up doing the whole straight lines things. I want to try going a little bit more living on the edge. Take it this way. I want to live on the edge with my tent building. There's nothing more intense than tent building. You guys know that from experience, I'm sure. It's one of the most intense experiences you're going to get in the game. And what I need to do is I need to get the block that I've forgotten. Ah, yes. It wasn't the block. That's why. I do that all the time. When in doubt, it's always bone meal or shears. I never fall back to it, but normally it should be just bone meal or shears. Bone meal or shears. I always forget those two. So we'll do that there, and that's going to have a nice little swept feeling to it, I think. So maybe there, maybe a bit there. If we had a half block for that. Quartz could actually work. Maybe we should try a bit of quartz in here. I'll give it a go. And this is obviously going down here. Don't forget to use it. There we go. And there. I guess we could probably just have that area open. As if it's kind of pulled around that way. But let's check what it's looking like from a distance. So as you come over here, that needs to go down. That's immediately apparent. That one there needs to go down. And that was the one that I was talking about, potentially the quartz. But if we could just fill it in over here with one of these, it could work. So this is the backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. And sort of working, I guess, in some weird way. That can go. I really do want to try the quartz, to be completely fair. But I do like this in its own right. Maybe if we do a few of these, it'll create a good bit of variation. So right now, the problem with it is it's looking pretty flat and not really too pretty. So if we do this, though, a little bit of these, this could just maybe break it up a little bit. And maybe one or two in here as well, of the white ones. So there, no, there, and here, there. Now let's check what this looks like. Yeah, that's sort of all right. I want to get rid of this and see what this looks like. Maybe if we put one draping down there, and this one here we'll take out that. Put one of these over here just for temporary measures and test it out. Maybe we don't need the edge all the way around. I actually kind of prefer it when it doesn't have this edge all the way around, and we can even maybe pull this one out here, take that one out. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Inefficient, but I did it. Yeah, something like that. It's a, you know what? This is what I'm saying. Tents are not easy things to get right in this game. They really aren't. And I think this is actually not a bad attempt at a tent. It really isn't. I think we're doing all right here. But there's a few ways we'll be able to improve it. I think if we can maybe have something holding it up from the top, just little details, and we can maybe distract with these little details. I think that's the important part. So we can maybe go there and a bit of this. So it looks like it's being held up. Over here, we can perhaps go and grab our oak. Where is our oak? We should have we've got enough oak fences after last episode. I'll tell you that much. There we go. Full stack, of course. That's how we roll. These things are more precious than diamonds to me at the moment. And we'll go over here and maybe just connect it up to this tree. And this is where these ropes, when I say that in like completely in inverted commas, because they really aren't ropes, but this is where you have to use your imagination. These ropes are super important to getting these builds to look interesting and add little details. I think they give the real pirate-like feel. That little lantern chain that we did in the last one, fantastic. I think it. Well, you know what I mean. Hey, I've got a slight bias. I'll admit it, but I think it worked really well. So jump, and down here. Okay, that needs to go away there. Fantastic. And let's step back again. Yeah, you see, it's starting to get messy, and I know it. Yeah, no, it is, and that is the point. That is the beauty of it. We're getting this place looking a little bit more grubby and a little bit more messy. So what I want to do to add in this place, we can maybe add in a few little details around the place. In fact, these will probably work quite well just to go over here like this. Or maybe we'll just put them one lower here, like this. There. And just start adding in little bits and pieces. But what I want to do specifically is, because we got these lanterns, there's another thing that I want to do, which is another design that I want to try out. And that is to use a few other blocks, which are always, you know what, this whole thing that we're doing here is all about using blocks I least expect and trying to get them to work. And hopefully they work. Tell me if they do. You know, that's the whole thing. So we got those. We need some slabs right around. Do we not have? Oh, we do. Perfect. And we'll be good. We'll be all right. We just need to test this out. So I've used the jungle ones for the lanterns. Now I want to make a little bit of a lamp that goes up here, and we'll use these for now. It's going to change out. But what I need to do is I need to put in one of these, because they're going to be lit with candles. Or maybe you could think of it more like the oil lamps, where they've got the flame in them. That's what I hope to make it look like that in this build, at least. Just make it look like it's one of those oil lamps. And the reason we are using the acacia is purely because it adds more color. It's just an attempt to add color. And I mean, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, so be it. We've learned something new. The sun's going down. I should probably head out, but that's fine. We'll check it out. Yeah, so you see that there? I can maybe do that, and I can do another one hanging on the other side. Sometimes we do some bigger things, sometimes we do some smaller things. Today, I think it was the smaller details that have definitely shown us what this place can look like. I've just added in a few more, just little things in here, little splashes of color, a few things like that. Actually, I do have a few more where we can put them on the ground and make it look like there's stuff growing on there. The weeds, man, I do really like this whole making things weedy. I think maybe that one might be a bit much. Yeah, it's a little bit much. We'll get rid of that. But either way, I really do like the idea of it. Just adding in little bits and pieces around the place. It is definitely going along very, very smoothly. So, for today, we will go ahead and call that an episode, because I don't know what I'm going to be doing besides a big thing behind this. So I think the next thing is a really big tavern or something large along this way, or even the shipfront or something like that in this area. But either way, it's been a great day, great episode, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about this, what we can improve. I think that looks pretty cool, because it looks like it's actually dropping down the bottom there. Tents are a tough one, though, I tell you that much. Tents are a tough one, so give them a go and tell me what you guys think of them. But thank you very, very much for joining me here today, guys, and I will see you very, very soon.